Hello. How are you guys doing today? Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time stopping in and you enjoy what you see and you want to see that truck go back behind me go fast, please subscribe, like, and comment. So, if you guys saw yesterday's video, we got the truck running. It starts up. We got a couple codes. It's not an issue. That's expected. So, I was pretty amped up about that. I was excited. But we did have a fuel leak that I noticed right at the end. It looks like it's coming out of our adapter fitting for our twin CP3 kit. So I'm going to try and tighten that up. I have a bunch of miscellaneous crow's feet to try and do that. That would be the high pressure side of the fuel system. So that leak's only going to get worse as we build rail pressure. So you figure sitting at idle, you're about 4,000 to 5,000 PSI of pressure. Well, that rail pressure can go up to 26,000. So we need to make sure we got that sealed up good. Also, I had an alternator cable fabbed up for our truck. It's like a welding wire. It's pretty heavy duty. It's actually a little thicker than the factory one since we're running a little further. So we'll put that in. So hopefully if we get that leak, we get the alternator in. Oh, another thing we got to check out. I blew two 20 amp fuses for the air dog last night. I don't know why. So hopefully there's nothing going on there. I got some more fuses. We put a meter on it, see what it's drawing. So, a couple of things to do, and then I'd like to get to fill in the transmission, and maybe we can drive this puppy tonight. I don't know. But let's get started. We got a good day ahead of us, so let's see how far we get. I have our new alternator cable ran, all nicey nice, up through the front here into the alternator. I tried to mess with that fitting in the back, and I'm not sure if I got anything on it or not. It probably just needs a little tweak, like half a flat almost, to get it to seal. But we're going to start the truck and find out, and then while the truck's running, we'll do a little bit more investigating and maybe see exactly what's leaking. Like I said, I think it's that ATS fitting, adapter fitting. So let's see what we got. Still leaking. Alright, so yeah, we still have a leak. I shoved the GoPro down in there, so I'm gonna go in and see if I can make sure I know exactly where it's coming from. And let's see here. And the air dog blew another fuse. That's disheartening. Alright, let's see what we can figure out. Alright, so after a shitload of trying, I finally got that sealed up. I actually took the line off that goes to the connection there for the rail pressure sensor. I actually took that line off that connects to the back. I pulled the adapter fitting that comes with the ATS kit, checked everything out, got my cell phone back there, took some pictures of the back of the rail, no cracks or anything like that I could see. Tightened it up, installed everything, leaked again. So then I got in there and I just pry bars and I was using stacking washers and stuff to make spacers, you know, put the box end of the wrench on there real good, and finally I was able to pry it a little bit further, and it looks like it's sealed up. We'll see what happens when we actually give it some more rail. So now I think I'm going to go forward and fill the transmission. Popped another 20 amp fuse for our air dog, and my ammeter only goes up to 10 amps, so we're gonna have to look at that at a later date. I don't know what's going on with that, but anyway, we'll fill the transmission now. Alright guys, so I got 20 quarts of ATF plus 4. When I had this transmission set up on the gray truck, I think it took like 18 or 19 when I did a full cooler clean and everything. So I got 20 quarts. I just got fluid from CarQuest, because I'll probably change the fluid, at least drop the pan and, you know, check the filter and all that, you know, after 1,000 miles or so, just make sure everything's kosher. But I usually go to CarQuest. I know a guy there, usually get a decent deal, get it $3 something a quart or whatever. I mean, you're buying $80 worth of fluid. So let's fill it up. Usually what I do is I'll put about 8 quarts in it. I'll check it on the dipstick tube. Then I'll start the truck and I'll run it through the gears, and I will leave it in neutral. What that does is that keeps the pump going, so it keeps the fluid cycling. And the correct way to check your transmission fluid is with the truck on and in neutral. So after I do that, we'll just add a couple quarts to check the level, add a couple quarts to check the level, so on and so forth. So let's fill this fucker. Alright, so it appears as though the range selector lever on the transmission was loose, so let's try this again. Oh, plug that battery back in. Alright. Much gooder, much gooder. Drive, neutral, reverse, park, reverse, neutral, drive. Nice. All right, back in neutral. Let's check our level. We're 15 quarts in, as you can see, we're still low. All right, more fluid. We've had a development. Filled the transmission, seems good, full. We got all our gears and another roadblock. So I put another fuse in the air dog to see what was gonna happen, and it popped pretty quick. So there's a 25 sitting there, and fuck it, what's another 5 amps? So I threw a 25 in. Needless to say, then we caused ourselves quite the OPEC type situation. As you can see, we have fuel all over the floor. So what happened, the line actually pulled off of that fitting down there. So I don't know if that's because that's the wrong fitting, or if the pump is just kind of was deadheading. I'm not really sure. I guess I'll pull that fitting off and look at everything. But yeah, now we got fuel all over the place. Oh shit. But other than that, it was doing okay. All right, time to investigate. Looking at what I got for fittings and all that, it looks like this one is the one I had on it, and I thought it was work. I mean, it's about the same size as the barb on the air dog. Maybe it is a tad smaller and I didn't realize before. It was just something I had laying around. I figured it would work. It looks to be the same size. But the problem is the fleece fuel distribution block takes this size AN fitting. Here's the size of our air dog. As you can see, they're much different. So For right now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this 90 that I have for my fast setup that I was originally going to use on this, but I decided the 90, I didn't like the angle. So I'm going to see if I can figure out how to make it work. See if that holds. And if it doesn't, I got to figure out what's going on. I don't know if maybe the fleece distribution block isn't big enough for the AirDog 200. Which to me wouldn't make sense because if you have dual CP3s, you're going to have a lift pump. But I don't know. But when you plug the fuse in, the sound of the motor itself definitely changed. So I'm not really sure at this point. I'm going to try this. Hell, I might even throw a hose clamp on it. Even though I know with push locks you're not supposed to. I might do it just for the hell of it. But yeah, today's been very aggravating so far. Let's try this again. I'm going to start the truck. I'm going to throw the fuse in for the AirDog. I have 2 more 20 amp fuses, so we'll see what happens. I'm also going to keep an eye on rail pressure. Like I said, the tone of the truck changed when I turned I put that fuse on the AirDog. So I'm thinking, if there's a restriction, maybe rail pressure will be affected. I don't know at this point. So let's see what happens. Alright, well that didn't work. Fuse. See what happens. Okay. Let's try that. Alright. Turn it off, cycle it again. Alright, everything seems copacetic. Mini max fuel pressure. Okay, let's see what we got. Oh, there goes the fuse. Hear the motor change tone? Yep, sure enough, look. Rail pressure did spike. Just go put this 25 in here for a second. See what happens. Yeah, look at that. See that rail pressure? Well, that, boys and girls, seems to be our problem. Yeah, I don't know. I guess the AirDog's putting out more fuel than can be returned. I guess. I mean, that's the only thing that seems to make any sense to me. But why? See, it's supposed to be a demand flow system. That shouldn't happen. Questions, questions, questions. But The truck runs fine without the air dog. So at least we got that going. Fuel line doesn't seem to be leaking. I didn't end up putting a hose clamp on it, so yeah, a bit miffed. We're gonna have to make some phone calls in the morning. Say we go for a ride. All right. This thing's loud with the exhaust and no floor. Speedometer doesn't seem to be working. That's new. Bunch of lights. We probably got some codes. Got a bunch of parts in the bed. All right, guys, well, the truck runs. We're not using the lift pump right now, but we're getting there. So the truck drives. It seems to drive fine. The rattle coming out of that downpipe is a bit excessive with the lack of a floor. I wish I could even say it sounds good. It doesn't sound bad, but I think we put an exhaust on it, it'll sound better. Originally, I was planning on doing a hood stack right away, but I might not do that just yet. But yeah, so I'm happy. We got to talk to our tuner about why I can't get the key out of the ignition and send him some codes. He wants a data log, so I got to figure out how to do that. I don't know how to do it yet. I was just trying to do it with the V2, and it just didn't seem to want to let me do it. So I'll email him after I get done with you guys. Hopefully he'll get back to me tomorrow, and yeah, we'll get this thing logged and get on our way. Also, I'm going to give the folks at AirDog and probably Fleece a call and see if they can shed a light on that lift pump issue. So it was a troublesome night in the garage, but the ends justified the means. So I'm going to clean up the garage a little bit. The floor is a mess from our massive fuel spill, but I'll catch you guys on the next one. Get out in the garage and get to working on your truck.